Hi everyone, it's Anna from the Heartbeat Hive, and today I am back with a little talk on introducing play into your day. Now, high achievers, especially people who feel immensely, maybe empaths, highly sensitive people, whatever you are, if you're watching this, you're probably interested in personal development. So what I want to talk about is getting things done, but not trudging through them, not dreading them. And some of that has to do with motivation, whether it's intrinsic or extrinsic. So an example would be doing something only for money or doing something because you love it. Sometimes the best combos really catapult us into getting something done. But what I want to talk about today are two things. One, how to introduce play into your day among the many things that we all juggle and manage and want to do, right? Accomplish, check off, whatever. And then two would be the idea of expressive risk. So as we're moving throughout our day, some people have, calendars, some people have, an index card. They just write their stuff on there and they look at it every day and they do the thing. Some people have apps. Whatever you use is great, as long as you are using it consistently. So what happens when we get to a block of time or an area of the day, let's say, where we need to do something that we don't necessarily want to do, right? So there's a couple of ways to approach this. We can change our awareness and our focus on why we wanted to do the thing in the first place, or why it even made it to the list. And usually that leads us to either another part of a project or an outcome that we want. And sometimes that outcome is tied to other people. So we have like perceived obligations, right? And that when that doesn't match up with what you actually want, but it's sort of necessary, let's say, to move through life, then it causes friction because you're constantly thinking, I don't want to do this. What is this for? What does it mean? Why me? But we want to turn that on its head and we want to return back to, okay, this is one thing that I've got to do in my day. It will get me to this point, or returning to the why. If it's something that you chose that gets you further along in the process towards something you really want, but you haven't achieved or gotten to yet in life, it's important to return back to the why. So during those moments of friction and resistance that we experience, my hack or tool for doing so is to change my awareness. Why did I choose to do this? Why did it make the list in the first place? And then second is like, how can I make this fun? If I have to do it anyway, that's what I've determined, then how do I make it fun? So one method might be to listen to music while you do it, if that is possible. One method would be to make a game for yourself. How quickly can I get this done? Another method might be, if I get this done, I get to move on to something else. What comes into play is when we delay those things, it adds to our cognitive load of, oh yeah, I really need to do that thing. Then let's say every time you look at the list and it's not done, you have the cognitive load of, oh, I still have to do the thing. So this is what I mean when we really need to get clear about why, and then also reduce the friction. So is there something in the way that's preventing me from doing the thing? So this could be environmental. I use this example a lot. If your painting supplies are underneath a bunch of things, you're less likely to paint because there's physical obstacles in front of your supplies, on top of your supplies. And so that's friction, that's environmental friction. Now, let's say you keep getting resistance because you've been consuming too much. If you go back and look at my Consume Create video, somewhere in the past, you'll see when we consume too much, we have more room for comparison versus actually doing the thing ourselves and getting the feedback, and then consuming and getting inspired, and then doing the thing and getting the feedback and getting better, then, possibly putting it out into the world and getting feedback. So it's important to not get caught up in the loop of maybe like overanalyzing this, because as you can tell, we've already spent a couple minutes, and those couple minutes could have been toward doing the thing. So I appreciate your time today. In listening to this is just a reminder to people who maybe are a little bit stuck or feeling their own resistance to things that they did say they want to do, and they do lead to other things, but in the moment we're just like paddling upstream, right? All right, so let's move on to this other idea of expressive risk. In the creative world, there's a lot of risk, right? But if we treat it as an experiment, or that we're playing with the medium, we're playing with the music, we're playing with each other in collaborations as an exploration, a discovery, what's going to happen. When we become too structured, there's pressure. There's pressure on the outcome, right? So it needs to be perfect. It won't be as good as other people. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But when we get into that mode, it kind of takes the fun out of it, right? And that's why some people make a living from their art. They're very good at expressive risk. They don't really know how each piece is going to turn out, but they don't care because they're always moving forward. Every time they make a new piece of art, music, whatever, they're moving forward. And the moving forward is more important than the risk and the outcome. It's more important for them to progress, improve, put their beauty out into the world in the form of art, and really be authentic with themselves and their expressions. So with expressive risk, we can add play into that element by reducing the pressure to either maintain an old identity or to be the best, right? High achievers really aim high, and that's for a reason. Especially creative people, we're very visionary. So when it comes to execute on the way, we can get sort of like, but I just want to fast forward to the vision where I'm awesome. And we all know that it really takes the doing part to level up your skill. And in the doing, we're going to face, haters, commenters, unsolicited advice, right? But we've got to go back into the play mode and the reason why we chose to create in the first place, because it fuels and it releases something inside of us. It simultaneously does that for us. So I encourage you to see your creativity, every action that you take towards that, as an expressive risk or a moment of play. And then figure out how to get back into that curiosity, that maybe innocence of like, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to do it anyway. And then lean into that day after day. And before you know it, you're on your way versus being stuck in this mode of like, what will happen? Will it be good enough? And that's all I have for today. I hope you're all doing really well. And yeah, if you have any questions about my flow coaching or my group program or my high ticket program, you can DM me play and I will respond. Thanks a lot. Bye.